Among every device Jigsaw ever put together, this one carries a different weight. The machine does not rush. It does not strike fast. It takes its time, gripping each limb like a cold, metallic hand that intends to break a person 1 inch at a time. Timothy wakes up attached to rotating joints that twist bone in the direction the body is never meant to go. The creaking sound is almost slow enough to feel through the screen. The trap forces Jeff to step forward, but he hesitates, and every wasted second turns the mechanism. The limbs snap in a rising curve of pain. The rack is methodical. It destroys the body in sections, as if the device understands that fear lasts longer when the mind has time to imagine the next break. It is the kind of trap where silence is worse than screaming, because silence means another bone is about to turn. Jeff takes too long, and the final rotation snaps Timothy's neck. The machine does not pause. It does not even react. It just completes its cycle like it was always meant to reach the last position. Above all traps, this one captures Jigsaw's coldest side, a side that does not care about guilt or excuses. It only focuses on the moment the spine gives out. This trap cuts away every illusion that someone can talk their way out of Jigsaw's game. Mateo sits locked in a chair, his head bound in metal, with a device ready to punish him the second he hesitates. The instructions are blunt. He must take a part of his own brain and dissolve it in a tank.
Place a big enough piece of your cerebral tissue into the glass enzyme tank, and you win.
No tricks, no shortcuts. Every action demands direct pain. He carves into his skull, trembling, shaking, bleeding as the steam mask heats beside him. The countdown does not shout, yet the pressure grows louder with every tick. The cut is messy, and panic destroys whatever precision he once had. That panic costs him precious seconds, and the clock wins. The mask slams down. The coils burst with white-hot steam that covers his face like a curtain of heat. It is quick and merciless. This trap exposes one of the darkest truths behind Jigsaw's design. Sometimes the effort is real, but the time is too thin to survive. 5 people wake up with metal collars locked to cables that pull toward spinning blades hidden inside a wall. The collars retract with smooth, terrifying force, like the machine is inhaling its victims. Only one person can move forward, the rest are dragged back. The room shakes with footsteps and frantic breaths as each person bolts for the keys in their chambers. The entire setup plays out like a race where the slowest is already marked for death. Ashley tries to keep pace, but every movement from the others tightens the collar around her throat. The blade waits calmly. When the timer ends, her collar snaps back and metal meets flesh without pause. This trap reveals something most people overlook. Speed becomes more important than strength. Decisions mean everything, and hesitation kills faster than the device. The steel cable moves like a pulse. It pulls, it tightens, and someone goes silent. Paul wakes up in a room that feels more like a wound than a space. The walls are lined with razor wire that curves, twists, and overlaps in a shape that forces him to crawl through it. The trap does not crush him or twist him. It asks him to destroy himself slowly by moving forward.
You are a perfectly healthy, sane, middle-class male.
Every scrape steals a piece of skin. Every corner forces another cut. The panic changes the air in the room because he tries to rush, and rushing is the worst mistake this maze allows. The wire grabs him. It bites across his arms and legs, keeps scoring deeper every time he pushes harder. The exit is there, but the maze is built to punish anyone who loses calm. Paul loses that calm completely. His fear drives him too fast, and the wire begins to shape him instead of the other way around. By the time the timer ends, the maze has taken enough blood to silence him. The cruelty here is not the steel. It is the fact that someone could survive if they held control. That control slips fast when every breath burns. This trap forces William to guide Debbie through a room filled with steam vents that fire without mercy. The metal corridor glows from the heat, and each step pushes him closer to burns that leave skin peeling. He redirects the steam with levers, taking the heat meant for her. The sound is sharp, like the pipes hiss in anger every time he moves the wrong way. Debbie runs, but the hall keeps tightening around her. Steam cuts vision, and the air scorches her lungs. When she reaches the end, the last shock arrives. The key to her survival is inside William's body. The truth hits her instantly. She needs to cut him open or die. She tries, but time moves faster than her hands. The device snaps shut, and she collapses before she realizes her chance is gone. The trap highlights how desperation changes people, especially when the exit is buried under someone else's skin. Brenda sits tied to a chair with gears behind her that coil into her hair. When the trap begins, the mechanism pulls harder, twisting her scalp backward. The sound is sickening, almost like fabric tearing, except it is not fabric. The teeth of the machine keep rotating, slow enough to make every inch count. Rig tries to help her by reading numbers hidden inside the gears. Every moment he waits, the machine pulls harder. Brenda screams without rhythm, and the tension in the room shifts into something unsteady. Even after Rig frees her, she launches at him with panic and rage tangled together.
What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Drop the fucking knife! Put the knife down.
The trap has already changed her into someone who cannot think clearly. The chair does not need to kill to break a person. It just needs enough pressure to push the victim into a state where violence becomes the only response. That is what makes this trap stand out. The damage continues even after the machine stops. Michael wakes up with a metal mask around his head, filled with spikes that will close in once the timer reaches 0. The mask sits heavy, almost like a second skull forged only to crush the real one. The key is found under his eye, buried deep enough to force him into a knife-to-skin struggle as the seconds vanish.
Is this? It's right before your eyes.
The fear that hits him is not loud. It is quiet, shaking, the kind that freezes the hands. That freeze is deadly. He cannot cut fast enough, and the mask tightens. When the timer hits its final beat, the mask clamps down, ending everything in a single, violent motion. This trap does not require complexity. It only needs pressure, time, and the cruel truth that some people cannot hurt themselves fast enough to stay alive. Ryan and Anna wake up chained in a room that feels empty until the silence breaks with the trigger of a shotgun mounted between them. The weapon hangs there like a threat that does not need movement to feel alive. Jigsaw speaks through the recorder with calm instructions. But calm does not make anything easier. He tells them their key to freedom is right in front of them. The line sounds simple, yet the meaning is sharp. Anna panics first.
We have to follow the rules. We have to play by the rules. My only key to freedom is to kill you.
Her breath turns shallow and her decisions lose shape. She grabs the shotgun, convinced she must fire before Ryan does. She pulls the trigger, and the gun backfires, caving her chest in an instant.
Backwards. He said we got it backwards!
The force lifts her off her feet and drops her with nothing left to say. Ryan stands frozen. When he sees the shattered shell, he realizes the truth. The key is inside the shell that Anna destroyed. That single mistake seals both of their fates. They were never meant to attack each other. The trap rewards calm thought and punishes instinct. It shows how fear can twist meaning faster than any mechanical device ever could. Before we move on to the next, hit like and stay with us if you want more intense breakdowns of these brutal traps. This device reacts to breath. Every inhale and exhale pushes the metal plates closer against the chest of whoever breathes faster. William and an older man stand across from each other with masks strapped tightly to their faces, each mask wired to measure every small intake of air. The machine listens better than any human ears ever could. William tries to keep his breathing slow, but panic spreads through his muscles. His chest rises too fast and the plates push harder. The older man has heart disease and struggles with shallow breaths, but even his uneven rhythm threatens him more with every second. The room becomes a place where breathing feels like a mistake. When the final seconds hit, the plates close violently against the weaker participant. The sound is heavy, final, and leaves William staring at a man who simply ran out of breath. This trap is quiet, but silence does not make it gentle. It kills with a slow pressure that tightens until bone has no space left. Seth wakes on a metal table with his arms locked above him. A large pendulum hangs above his chest. The blade moves back and forth in a slow rhythm, like it is waiting for the exact second to drop lower. A recorder begins playing, explaining that Seth must press his hands into crushing mechanisms at each side of the table. If he presses down far enough, the machine will stop the pendulum. His breath grows shorter when he notices how low the blade has moved. He pushes his hands into the devices, bones cracking under the pressure. Red pools around his fingers. He goes through the full task, and the mechanism confirms that he completed the requirement. But the blade does not stop. It never slows. It drops and cuts through his chest in a clean, merciless strike. Blood hits the floor in steady lines. Seth was never meant to walk away. This trap exposes the hidden cruelty of someone copying Jigsaw, someone who twists the rule of giving a chance into a lie meant only to kill. This trap begins with a man glued to the seat of a car. His back sticks to the cushion with industrial adhesive strong enough to hold down a body no matter how much he fights. His hands are stuck to the steering wheel and his feet are locked to the pedals. A friend lies in front of the car under the tires, another is tied behind the vehicle, and a fourth is pinned to the wall ahead. The engine revs on its own. The tension builds fast because he must rip himself free from the glue, tear skin away from the seat, and pull a lever positioned just out of reach.
But no act comes without a sacrifice. You've judged others by the color of their skin, and today, Evan, you will learn that we are all the same color on the inside.
The timer ticks away. Every second means another person will pay the price if he fails. He rips free with skin peeling off in thick strands, blood stretching across the torn fabric. He reaches the lever, but the clock hits 0 before he pulls. The engine roars, the car launches forward, and the trap spirals into a chain of deaths. This setup does not settle for one life. It punishes everyone tied to him. The cruelty comes from how close he gets to stopping it before everything collapses. Troy wakes in a classroom with chains hooked into his arms, legs, stomach, and jaw. Every chain goes into the wall around him. The room itself feels cold, like the walls are waiting for him to either pull or give up. A tape plays, and the instructions are brutal. He must tear every chain out of his body. No cuts, no tools, only force. He begins pulling. Flesh tears slower than he expects. Blood rolls down his skin. His muscles strain with each yank. He gets multiple chains free, but the last few anchor deep in places no one can pull from without losing more than skin. The timer closes in, and he tries anyway. The final explosion takes him before he has a chance to react. The blast throws his body across the room and scatters debris in every direction. The trap uses raw pain as its currency, demanding more than any person can give without breaking apart completely. The pit looks harmless at first glance. A large box filled from bottom to top with used needles. The real weight of the trap hits only when someone gets close enough to see how many needles rest there. Hundreds, maybe thousands. Every one of them is sharp enough to hit skin no matter which way the body falls. The key is somewhere inside the pile. Xavier refuses to go in, so he throws Amanda into the pit. The impact sends the needles into her skin in dozens of places at once.
Come on! We don't have time!
Oh, shit!
She groans, trying to hold herself together as she digs through the pile. The needles bend, snap, and bury deeper. Her hands move faster because she knows the timer will not wait. Needle after needle sinks into her arms as she searches for the key. She finds it, throws it upward, but Xavier fails to catch it. It falls out of reach.
No! 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 No!
She did everything right, and it still was not enough. The pit is one of the few traps that does not need a machine to break someone. The environment itself is enough. Detective Carey wakes with metal bars locked around her torso. Blades rest inside the device, pointed outward but ready to pull inward. A small tank of acid sits near her, and a key rests at the bottom. She must push her hand inside, retrieve the key, and unlock the harness before the timer finishes.
There is a single key that will unlock the harness, Carey. It is right in front of you. All you have to do is reach in and take it.
She puts her arm into the acid without hesitation. Skin burns instantly. The pain rises fast, but she keeps going. She grabs the key and frees the locks before the timer ends. The bars open halfway before stopping. A cold clicking sound follows, one that does not match the instructions she followed. The device does not release. It snaps inward, pulling her ribs outward in one brutal motion. The entire setup was designed so she could not win. This trap pushes the idea that effort does not guarantee survival, especially when the machine is built by someone who has abandoned every rule except cruelty. The device looks like a metal jaw shaped to split a skull open. Heavy bolts hold it around the head, and a timer on the front ticks down like a heartbeat. The victim must find the key locked inside another person or escape through a painful workaround before the device springs. Amanda survives hers by cutting through the man placed in the room with her. Hoffman later escapes his own version by digging through his face and ripping the trap apart before it snaps open. The device threatens the kind of end that happens fast, with no chance to scream, no time to think, and no hope of slowing the mechanism once the timer hits 0. It remains one of the most recognizable machines in the series because of how clear its intention is. The jaw opens outward. The metal spreads with force that looks engineered to end someone in one clean movement. And the entire trap sits on the face like a countdown to ruin. Every trap in this world carries a price, and no victim walks away untouched. Mechanical cruelty, split-second choices, and the cold logic of Jigsaw create scenes that stay under your skin long after they end. If you want more deep breakdowns like this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.